What's up, guys? Jordan the Movie Hero Anderson here, and hopefully you can see me alright. I think I got the lighting the best I can do for driving right now, but I want to talk about the third movie of my triple feature, which was Heretic, and I am glad I saw it, and it was a good movie, but I saw it after two better movies, and it's kind of gave me kind of dark feelings after seeing it. But I mean, it's fine. I mean, that's what horror does. That's why my favorite genre is comedy. Second is probably family movies. Third is probably sci-fi fantasy, really. And then it goes horror. Or maybe even coming of age, throw that in there. So, but I do like horror movies quite a bit, actually. And the movie, let's see, I'm trying to remember the two main female actors that played the Mormon missionaries. So I think one was named Chloe East and Sophie Turner. I don't know. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. But it's two female missionaries. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head because I'm not at my computer where I can look stuff up. But it definitely has Hugh Grant, which Hugh Grant's doing awesome movies lately, really picking some unique and interesting roles that are really different and I don't know, maybe challenging even, I use that word, but yeah, he's picking some good stuff and not just the usual rom-com stuff he used to do that I got kind of tired of. But yeah, and for me, growing up in the Mormon Church, I could relate to some of it, but it's really not totally just about the Mormon Church, just a horror movie. I mean, it's not trying to be some crazy thing about the Mormon Church, even though they do talk about it. There's a funny thing in the beginning, before they even get to Hugh Grant's house, where they're just out on their bikes, and there's some people crossing the street that are taking pictures in the middle of the road. The cars are honking at them and getting to get out of the road, and then they go over to the missionaries. They're like, "Hey, you mind if I get a picture?" And then they're acting like they're friendly. And then one of them's like, "Is it true that you wear magic underwear?" And they're like, "I don't know." And then all of a sudden, one of them just pantses the girl, and you see the garments there for a quick second, just a quick flash. And it's kind of like a funny movie, whoa. So that kind of made me laugh. It's the only thing that made me laugh in this movie, because it's not meant to be funny. But I do love when horror movies have one or two jokes in it. I don't mind that, or a few. But and just before I go too much further, there will be spoilers in this, but it won't be any major spoilers. I'm not gonna give away the ending or any kind of crazy plot twist. I'm just gonna give my thoughts, and if my thoughts kind of delve a little bit into spoilers, then so be it. But if you don't care about that, then welcome and keep watching. But if you do care, maybe go see the movie first and then come back and watch this review. But remember to come back. But yeah, so basically, something's gonna be effed up with this guy that's played by Hugh Grant, because they're talking about some things that have to do with I don't know why this car behind me keeps putting their brights on. That's weird. Makes you think it's a cop, but I'm not speeding. But anyways, and just watch. I get pulled over through construction zone that's coming up, but just because the speed limit changes. But yeah, so they show up over there. You do get to hear a few thoughts on the Mormon Church. They talk about Joseph Smith. They talk about the Book of Mormon and that. But and then they talk about the fact that if there's two female missionaries, for safety reasons, they have to have another female present. They just do. They can't enter the house. But of course, Hugh Grant says that his wife is there, and so he's like, "Let me go get my wife." And of course, he's just making excuses, and he doesn't have a wife there. You know that from the get-go. But I mean, maybe a little part he's like, well, maybe they might have someone back there, but he keeps going in the back room. But basically, the point of this is he's this guy that likes to challenge people, challenge their thoughts, challenge their ideas, challenge their religion, all that kind of stuff. And so that's what he does. But The movie for me, I have it ranked lower on my letterbox. I did give all 3 movies a ranking. Whoa, there's something in the road. It was a piece of cardboard, but anyways. But now this car's putting its brights on. Weird. I don't know what the deal is, but and I have it ranked lower on my letterbox just because there's a lot better movies that I've seen this year that just, I don't know. It kind of devolves into, and this is a slight spoiler, so fast forward 30 seconds if you don't want to hear it, but it evolves into girls trapped in the basement and trying to escape, and there's like no way out. So, and how many horror movies have we seen where it's someone trapped in the basement and there's just no way out? It's just kind of devolves into that, and they find crazy stuff, and it's like by the end it does get crazy, and there is a few some twists, but it's stuff you've seen before in a horror movie. It's nothing mind-blowing or anything. So the thing that makes the movie unique, one is Hugh Grant's performance is really awesome, but it's kind of like from the beginning, it's like, hey dude, where's your wife? Get your wife out here, or we're out of here, or we're going. Because as missionaries, I was a missionary, and if something doesn't seem right when you're in somebody's home, get out of there. Get the F out of there. Like you're worried about being kind to people, and like how you act reflects on the church and your representative of Jesus Christ and God and all that stuff. But it's like if something's not right, you gotta say, hey, we can't be here. We gotta go. And if they're not letting you out or not letting you say, hey, you let me out now, or like that we're gonna have problems, or you just find a way out of there. And in this case, if I was these girls, I'd break a window, I'd try to bust through the wall, I'd try to frickin' any way that you possibly could come up with to get out of there, I would do it. But they sit there a little too long, they're trying to be friendly, they're trying to be kind, I get it. But as someone who's been a missionary, I understand that, because you're there to like bring the spirit in there, and you're there to teach, and you're there to show kindness and just bear your testimony of the things that make you happy and make you feel good. And like, we're in construction, so if you hear buzzing, I'm not going off the road. Literally the rumble strip's right down the middle of the road here, so I might hit it a couple times, but because of construction. But I'm gonna try to not though. But yeah, so like you want to teach people, you want them to like get a grasp of what your testimony is and listen to you, and hopefully get baptized. But a lot of the ideas and thoughts on religion like make a lot of sense though. And they say question everything. That's a tagline on the poster. And yeah, he questions everything. He definitely does that. And it's really interesting. A lot of questions that I've had before about religion in general, and God and prayer and different things. So from that point of view, it's interesting, but it's not like a beach over the head religious movie by any means. It's just for horror fans, if you're a fan of horror movies, you know. But it does make you think about some of those things. So I mean, but there's not really a whole lot more to say. The only other thing I was going to say that there's another missionary that goes looking for the sister missionaries because they don't come home when they're supposed to, or like back to the church or whatever. And I'm glad there's people that are looking out. I didn't have that on my mission. We didn't like have anyone to check in with or like make sure you're home. That probably would have been good to be safe and be accountable when you get home, because there's certain rules. Like missionaries are supposed to be in their houses by 9 p.m. and I think asleep by 10 p.m. That's kind of the rule, because you got to wake up early, wake up at like 6 a.m. or something like that. So, but it's the spirit of the law. It's not like oh, you're gonna get into some big trouble if you don't do that. If you stay up an hour later or whatever, or sleep in a little, it's not a huge deal. But you do the best you can to follow. And it's kind of like if you follow those rules, you'll be blessed with like, man, this rumble strip, it's making me like drive in the middle of the road. It's weird. But see, I'm gonna try to adjust this. There we go. Maybe that's better. But yeah, so you do the best you can. So I really love my mission. I love almost every part of it. And I got a little overwhelmed with having all day religion, all day, every day, non-stop. It's kind of like, man, I need a little break from this, you know, just to do something else to get my mind off of 24/7 religion. You get a little, like, it's like a little overkill to where, like, I need all things in moderation. I can't do that stuff 24/7. Okay, now we're really changing into one. Well, I think it's 2 lanes still, but there's big cones in the road. But anyways, I think the rumble thing's gone now, I hope. But yeah, so I mean, and I love the people that I met, and I was in West Texas and East New Mexico. I covered all of that, the whole western half, and some in New Mexico. So my missionary boundaries were bigger than the state of Utah. At the time, it was the biggest mission in the United States. It's huge. So I think they've split that up recently or over the past few years. Because I served back in 2005 and 6, so that was quite a while ago. But so yeah, but that's all I really have to say about the movie. Anything else might give it into real big spoilers. So, but the movie's good. It's one of the better horror movies of the year. But I still, overall, I saw that I had it ranked 45 on my Letterboxd. But that's out of like almost 100 movies that I've seen. I didn't really count, but or like look at what the number is. But so it's in the top half of my list. But it's just, and probably overall, I'll give it a, I don't know, a 7 out of 10 for Hugh Grant's performance. Is what I'll give it that for. And the 2 sister missionaries, the actors that play them, they're good. And I didn't realize that the missionary that goes looking for the male missionary, that goes looking for the sister missionary, that's Topher Grace. He is unrecognizable in this thing. Like I'm just like, what? Because I looked it up afterward. At least I think that was Topher Grace, but he's listed in the cast as an elder missionary, so he's somewhere in there. But yeah, so it was good. I mean, maybe great, good to great kind of territory, but a 7 out of 10 for me. So if you're a horror fan, I would highly recommend it. Or if you're a member of the LDS Church, I would recommend it, even though a lot of members of the LDS Church aren't watching R-rated movies. I do. I see everything, and I think people shouldn't worry too much about that, but that's a topic for another time. But yeah, so that's it. So for the Heretic movie review, and go check it out and let me know what you think. And yeah, I've been Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, and we will see you next time.